Which it's time to thwip. What's up, guys? I'm AJ, and welcome back to another thwipside video. And today, me and my hands are going to be checking out the Target exclusive McFarlanetoys DC Multiverse Gold Label Blue Beetle Classic figure. I pre-ordered him from Target when the pre-orders went up, and I just got him in the mail today. And that's why we can't really check out the figure in the window, because they slapped this ugly barcode on the package. But you can see he comes with some accessories. You can see the figure kind of, and the card. And then Blue Beetle DC Classic, just a window here, basically window here, some artwork on the back that doesn't match the card, interesting, and of course, as always, the mumbo jumbo. So that's enough on the box. I'm going to rip him out and take a look at him. So here's Ted Cord out of his cardboard and plastic prison, and as always, we'll take a look at the accessories first. You get the DC stand, you get the trading card, funny picture of a Blue Beetle, and the bio. You get this tiny blue scarab. You get his Beetle grapple gun. It's nice. It's silver with like a gold color with a beetle. And then you get extra sets of hands besides the fist or one fist. In package, one fist, one trigger finger hand, obviously for the grapnel gun. And then you get this set of hands that has one pointer and then one like karate chop hand, I guess. I don't know. You get that there. I mean, of course you can mix and match. And then a set of splayed out hands. So pretty cool accessories we got this time around with this figure. As we move along to presentation, full disclosure, I do not have the Blue Beetle and Booster Gold 2-pack. Todd just releases so many figures that I have to play catch up on some, but that 2-pack is still on my list, even though I got this guy. So let's take a closer look at him now. To start off, before we take a closer look, I know McFarlanetoys gets a lot of flack for having wonky body proportions. None of the figures that I've personally picked up so far, it's really bothered me at all. But on this figure, to me, personally, it's really noticeable. It just seems like his legs are super long and his arms are a little short. And I just wanted to note that. I don't know. I'm sure this is probably sharing the same sculpt with the 2-pack Blue Beetle. Let me know if I'm right, and let me know the differences between this figure and the 2-pack Blue Beetle in the comments, because I don't have them to compare to, obviously. But anyway, it just sticks out to me more. It doesn't make me hate him, but it really caught my eyes right away as soon as I stood him up to film this. Taking a closer look, you get the mask with the yellow goggles or whatever, I think you call them. I do think I remember seeing pictures of the 2-pack. Are those clear in the 2-pack? Again, let me know. But the face sculpt is really cool. The paint lines are really nice. They're not sloppy or anything. Same with this the Beetle design here. And I really love the contrast of blues. Blue is my favorite color. So with the big, thick black lines, paint lines that are super clean, it makes it really pop, the contrast between the blues. I will say I do have a few little nitpicks here. This thing here, this cap, I don't know if you see it. It looks like there's some paint wear, or they missed some paint there. But besides that, yeah, different shades of blue suit highlighted with black. That's the costume. Hint of yellow, hint of yellow. That's a duller yellow. And besides the proportions, the paint and everything is really good on my copy. And one other problem potential, I've seemed to have been able to fix it. But out of the package, this ankle seemed to, it wasn't set all the way. It didn't seem like it was set in the leg all the way, and there was a gap. But messing around, and it was really tight. The ankle was really tight. I thought I was going to have a problem with it. Even with the hot water, I was concerned it was going to snap. But I was able to free up the ankle joint, even though it is still really tight. But that gap closed. I mean, there was there's a tiny bit here compared to this ankle, but it really did, that ankle did whole assembly did seat better in that leg. So I'm happy that turned out okay. Articulation wise, he is standard Mcfarlane fare from what we've come to know and expect. He's had swivels, nice amount of tilt. You can look up that far, look down that far. You got the torso articulation, so you get the tilt and the swivel. You get the waist. Together, you can arc back a lot as usual. Crunch, not so much, although he's so-so. And then you get the arm assembly with the socket and the bicep swivel, double jointed elbows, and they're tight just like the knees. The one thing, and I don't know if it's because of the interchangeable hands, but his wrists are really loose. I mean, if you shake them, they don't move around, but it's like I can almost helicopter them around. And then of course they hinge. His leg kicks up that far, doesn't go back much because it's hitting his butt diaper. Legs go out that far. For the hip articulation, this guy surprised me. You get some nice hip articulation there, especially for some reason this side goes out farther than this side. It doesn't look it, but it feels it. But yeah, that's what I've been wanting for a while. Out articulation. Well, better range of out articulation especially. And then you get the double jointed knees. And you get the tight ass ankles. You can hear it clicking all over. You get some nice rocker. And the toe joint. As I forgot to show you guys, here's the back of the figure. And again, nice clean paint apps with in the back as well. It's kind of weird. Well, I can understand why they didn't do it, how the cap doesn't have the paint to continue the pattern, but it makes sense because these caps, these socket caps, go all over the place. So yeah, really wouldn't have made a difference. So bottom line for me is, while the Target exclusive gold label McFarlanetoys DC Multiverse Classic Blue Beetle is a decent enough figure, I do have more gripes than I usually do. I mentioned some of them, of course, and I have a few others to add that aren't necessarily to do with the figure, so here we go. For the cons, I love the colors. They just really pop to me. They have he has really nice paint applications, no slop or anything like that. And he looks like a classic Blue Beetle, and I really appreciate that. And I think he looks pretty cool, body proportions aside, which leads me into the start of the cons. The body proportions were noticeable this time, the wonkiness. Not a deal breaker totally in my book. I just wanted to point it out because it's the first time it really stuck out to me with a McFarlane figure, believe it or not. But yeah, so we have that. And the other gripe about the figure itself is the QC issues. Little miss on the paint or paint rub. Isn't terrible, just a shame. Drives me kind of nuts when that happens. I just said the paint was great. So let's go back. The paint is great. It's nice and clean. The lines, it's just that one spot up here that they either didn't get all the way in the light with the light blue over the light blue paint, the darker blue, or it's a rub. That kind of thing, once I see it, I have trouble unseeing it. So clean paint for the most part, except for that. I don't want to mislead anybody. And that's not my main QC gripe anyway. My main QC gripe was the ankle being seated incorrectly. I should have filmed it to show you guys, but I'm sorry I didn't. Luckily for me, I was able to get it seated in the leg much better without anything breaking, and I was able to free the ankle hinge itself without breaking. And the reason that's a concern for me is because I have the Carrie Kelly Robin, which I cannot get her ankle to budge. And I've seen online tons of broken Carrie Kelly ankles. So I was afraid that would have happened with this guy. Luckily it didn't. Just be on the lookout for it if you get this figure, and let me know if you had any of the ankle QC issues. My other gripes, I'm just bringing up now because it's appropriate. It's not about the figure, but I appreciate the accessories we got with this figure. The 2 extra sets of hands, the scarab. Of course, you get the card in the base, but that's not what I'm talking about. I appreciate these accessories. What I'm worried about is that extra hands and things like that are going to be relegated to his collector edition figures, or I know right now they come with card stands, and that's a whole nother topic, but anyway, I'm worried they're going to be relegated to his collector edition figures or exclusive gold labels to get the extra hand accessories and things like that. And that is something I do not want to see. And I hope you guys feel the same way, because the base figures, non-exclusive, everywhere, you know, sold everywhere figures should come with these accessories. It shouldn't be relegated to gold label exclusives. And I feel super strong about that. And it will really, really frustrate me if that happens. And I bring this up with Blue Beetle because obviously he got a bunch of hands. And if you checked out my Target exclusive Flashpoint Flash figure, he got extra accessories and an extra head. Especially the extra head is the key one. Gold label. I do not want that to be the trend. Make the regular normal releases have accessories like extra hands and heads. I will be super, super frustrated if this is the way he's going. With that being said, I do enjoy this figure. It didn't knock my socks off. I think the only reason why is the QC issue on the ankle. When I get a figure out of the package and it has a QC issue like that, it lowers my excitement of the figure, and it takes me a while to come around to him again, you know, to enjoy the figure more. I'm sure I will, because he really does pop, wonky proportions aside. I think he is a decent figure and he's cool. I think once I get that irritation that was all messed up out of my head, I will enjoy this figure more. I do, if you're a Blue Beetle fan especially, I do recommend him. One more gripe before I go. See, and there's a bunch, and I'm usually not like this, guys. Another trend I'm starting to see with the gold label is the classic versions of characters released being gold labels. You got the Blue Beetle. Captain Atom is a Walmart gold label, which really frustrates me because the only gold labels I ever seem to have luck with are Target or at Mcfarlane Toy Store themselves. I have not been able to score a gold label Walmart figure, so do not make, and everybody is asking for the classic versions of the characters. I mean, there's a huge fan base of DC collectors that want the classic figures. Don't go the gold label route with that either. I mean, it's just frustrating. Mainline release, save your gold labels for your Jokerized repaints and things like that. Maybe tweak the base figure a little bit. Like, I can understand, like, even Bank Robber Joker, gold label, that's fine. I mean, he's a character a lot of people want, but at least you could get the regular Joker in the line. Things like that. Don't make it a pain in the ass for collectors to hunt down the characters they want the most. We see that with Batman and the availability of the most popular and wanted Batman figures in general, even though they're not exclusives. But he's got to figure out his distribution and distribute the figures, you know, that's friendly towards his customers, us collectors. Okay. With that all being said, drop me a comment about what the differences are between the 2-pack with Booster Gold release and this one. Like I said, I think the 2-pack had the clear goggles. And let me know if you agree with any of my gripes about the gold label stuff I just mentioned. I won't repeat it all, because then you'll be here forever listening to me repeat myself. But yeah, drop me a comment, let me know, or just drop me a comment and say, hey, what's up? Anyway, that's all the time I'll take from you guys today. As always, thanks for all the support. Thanks for all the thank you to all the new subs and the people who've been with the channel longer. I appreciate each and every one of you. And if you stumbled upon this video, thank you for watching, and hopefully I can earn your subscription. And with that being said, I'll catch you guys soon on the thwipside. Later.